Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How are you?
Good. Do you notice anything different about me?
Uh, you you look like a Bratz doll with the eyeshadow. I was gonna say you look like a Bratz doll. Wait. Oh my
You know what? That took you a little too long to notice, so I'm going to respectfully exit out of here.
god! I'm actually upset because you got it without me.
You already have your nose pierced.
I could have got like another ear piercing.
And I've been saying forever, but I was indecisive. And
Oh
so
my god!
I realized that sometimes I just have to just do shit. So
Oh my god. I'm so happy for you.
thank you. I didn't go to our spot though.
Oh, for some context, she finally got a nose piercing after like 5 years of me trying to. Okay, yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't go to our spa. I was going to, but I didn't want to make the drive because I finished work later, so it was pretty dark out or whatever. So I went somewhere like literally near my house. I looked at the reviews. The reviews were good, but the girl. Okay, give me your input.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Because when you talk to men like this, they think that women just overthink a lot. So I come in, they have you, sign your disclosure, and they actually cash you out right then and there. So the girl right in front of me was actually getting her nose pierced too. So she signed her disclosure, cashed her out, and then the cashier told her to have a seat, in the waiting area. So then she cashes me out. She's a little dry, but I don't assume just because someone is kind of like monotone or reserved, automatically I'm not going to assume that they have an attitude because you just don't know. So I'm like, whatever. She cashes me out and I have a seat in the waiting room as well. So the cashier ends up being the piercer. So she takes the girl, of course, that came first, pierces her, literally like done super, super quick. So then she leaves and starts doing like other busy work, like around the register, doing this, that. She wasn't the only cashier up there either. There was another girl there and I was the only person in the waiting room.
Okay.
And they have 2 waiting areas. So they have one right when you walk in, and then they have one closer to the back of the room where the piercer's room is. All of the rooms are separated with a door, So I was in the back and I was sitting, waiting, on my phone. They had good music and they had music videos. I'm like, I haven't watched a music video in a minute. So I'm just chilling. And then this other girl, she was just hanging out with like a tattoo artist. She comes over and she starts talking to me. So we're talking, whatever. I actually don't like small talk, but
yeah, me neither.
I'm pretty good at like holding a conversation with people, but it is draining for me. Yeah. So I was like, dang, I hope this girl hurries up because she's really nice, but I really don't want to sit here and have this conversation about nothing. So we're talking, girl. It's like damn near an hour and she still hasn't come to see me. So then I see her walk past me again. I go, excuse me, do you know when I'll be next? And she was like, don't worry, I'm gonna get to you. I just had some other things to do. And I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget about me because I'm the only one sitting over here.
Direct to the point.
So then I wait probably like another 15 minutes. And then finally she takes me to the back. And when I say that it was super quick, I was done in 2 minutes. So then when I sat down before, like, right when she took me, I'd already told myself, like, I'm going to let her know that I wasn't being rude or rushing her because she is piercing me and I already just paid for it. So I don't want to have someone providing me a beauty service. And
I'm pretty sure you weren't rude because you're not a rude person.
I wasn't rude, but I understand that people can perceive you differently. And so I didn't want her perception to be that. And now the vibe is off and I didn't want a bad vibe for this experience for me.
Yeah.
Like, don't mess my shit up because you have an attitude or you think that I'm like a snob or something, you know?
Yeah.
So as soon as I sit down, I was like, just so you know, I wasn't rushing you, but I am quiet. So I know that maybe I could have, because I was sitting there alone, you could have forgotten about me, but I wasn't in a rush or anything. Because I don't be in a rush. I'm not rushing. I'm American. It's like, no.
My new favorite saying.
Like, I don't be in a rush. Like, I'm very patient, but I also it did feel weird that she was taking forever when I was the only one there. And the busy work that you were doing, because the piercing took so quick, you're telling me you couldn't just pierce me first.
Right.
And then do the work. Because in customer service, whether people like it or not, successful businesses run off of the customer comes first. And that doesn't mean the customer comes first, like customers can be an asshole. That just means prioritize customer satisfaction, period. So, you know, it was like, it made me feel like, so then when I sat down after I said that, she was like, no, you're good. I just had stuff to do or whatever. But she still had like a dry monotoneness about her.
Okay. Because clearly she felt a type of way, probably.
So then she's like, oh, and you know, those quiet ones are the ones you have to watch out for. They're sneaky. And I know people say this as a joke, but...
Were we talking about this the other day?
Don't play with me.
People's perception of the quiet ones, but then why would she say that?
And I don't really like jokes like that because people be funny acting. Some people may call it reading in too much into things or overthinking, but knowing myself now and the experience that I have, I don't feel that way. I understand people's perceptions. I understand how.
Why did she have to add that little bit at the end? Like those are the ones you got to watch out for. Like actually, it's the people who are rude as hell too. Like not just the quiet ones. There are people who are outright rude and will smack you in the face. Like you got to watch out for them too.
Being quiet doesn't automatically make someone fake or sneaky. Just like being loud and abrasive and blunt doesn't automatically make someone a good person. Just because someone is being blunt and being what is perceived as honesty or keeping it real, sometimes you're just being mean.
I agree.
And if being mean is not always being real, and it's not right.
Being blunt is the new mean.
Yes, and it's not the same. Like, they're not the same. People can be blunt and be mean. That doesn't make them real, doesn't make them nicer or anything, or, you know, someone you can trust more just because they're upfront with their meanness. I would distrust them because I know that they have an evil spirit if they're always saying mean shit. Like, you're just a mean-ass person. Yeah. So, yeah. So that happened, and I'm like, you know, maybe she felt a way about me because, I don't know. Maybe she was on some hating ass shit, and I'm not trying to sound like a conceited person, and it may be perceived as conceited, but I don't care. Why did you do me like that?
She was probably like, this pretty ass bitch is going to get a nose ring just to add to her beauty. Oh my God, it's so annoying. Why I got to do this job?
Now when you say it like that, I sound like an ass.
No.
I mean, shit. Forget it.
No, I don't think you're
an asshole.
No, I don't think you're an asshole because she was doing other stuff, but she really could have done your piercing. Like, we have been pierced before. We've never had to wait an hour long. No. And even if we did wait maybe like 20 minutes or something, there was like a couple people in the waiting room too.
That's what I mean. When I say I am patient, I am that person. If there's a long line somewhere, I am not the person fussing, looking at other people for validation.
I'm daydreaming.
I'm literally, I'm having the time of my life. Like, oh, great. I get to catch up on my thoughts. Oh, this is the break I needed. Yeah. Girl, traffic too. Unless I'm in a rush, I do not mind traffic. I'm like, oh, turn the music on and I'm gonna just have a mental party in the car.
Right. So. The only time I actually do mind traffic is if I'm like hungry or very tired.
Yes, or I have
like a regular day and like I got some food in the car. I'm just
and I'm
chilling.
really going nowhere. Like I'm going to like Target or TJ Maxx or something.
Yeah, I don't got to worry about crashing because we're all in traffic.
Exactly. There's no risk here.
There's no risk.
It's just a chill time. Like,
Yeah.
This is actually a vibe. So,
yeah.
Girl. Yeah, so it was frustrating. And the reason why I didn't leave is because I already paid. I already was there. And I'm very much a person, like, once I set my mind on doing something, I don't like to change it. And so I'm like, I'm already here.
Yeah.
I just want to get it done. But there was that little thing in my mind, like, girl, what if she just puts this like on the tip of your nose or puts this somewhere weird or anything? But she did a good job. So I'm not gonna bash her piercing abilities, but the customer
I'm mad you
service
didn't
was
have
trash.
a good experience for your nose piercing though.
Girl.
Sad about that. It probably would have been better if I was there, but
it would have.
I'm just kidding.
Next piercing I get, I do want to get some more ear ones.
Me too,
so we can go to our old faithful, trustworthy location.
The place with the great customer service, because they were always great,
and nice jewelry, like a good jewelry selection too. So
yeah. Well, let's get started.
Okay.
I know it is March 1st, but how was your Valentine's Day?
It was great.
Good.
It was great.
Good.
We had pizza and went to a comedy show.
Nice.
Yeah. How was your Valentine?
It was good. That's when I was in New York, actually.
Okay.
And then Dustin came and, we spent some time together.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Got to spend time with the grands.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Good.
But today we're going to talk about bad Valentines.
Ooh.
Yes. So here we go.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband I hate my Valentine's gift?
I'm going to say no. Speak up. People pleasers unite and just speak up. Speak up.
Oh my God. Okay. So for this Valentine's Day, my husband and I agreed that we weren't going to get each other any gifts and just focus on quality time together. My only exception was that he get me flowers for the day, nothing expensive or crazy, just a small bouquet of daisies, my favorite flower. She asked for specific flowers.
Made it easy. She gave him the cheat code.
Daisies.
She gave him the cheat sheet.
I've always been vocal about my desire for flowers once in a while and tried to make it easy for him to understand what I want. He doesn't get my flowers for our anniversary, my birthday, or any other special days of the years. And I just really wanted flowers for Valentine's Day. The day comes up and we go out to eat and do other fun stuff. But the whole day I was waiting for him to surprise me with flowers. Instead, at the end of our dinner, he tells me he has a surprise and it ends up being a pair of earrings. They weren't really my style, but I still tried to be really grateful for what he got me. When we got home, I couldn't hold it in anymore and asked my husband about the flowers. He said he didn't get them, and I responded by saying I would rather have them than these ugly earrings. I will admit my words were really harsh, but I'm really tired of him not listening and ignoring what I really want. So am I the asshole for telling my husband I hate my Valentine's gift? Here's an edit. Since Reddit won't let me respond to any one of the comments, I just want to make some clarifications. I paid for our activities and he paid for the dinner. I also did explicitly say I wanted flowers, which is why I said it was an exception to our rule. I didn't get him a gift because we both unanimously agreed that we wouldn't exchange gifts. I even showed him a bouquet of daisies at the grocery store that were around $15 he could get me. I got so angry because flowers were the one thing I've been begging him to get me since the beginning of our relationship, and he's only gotten me flowers once. Another edit, since a lot of people are confused, he came up with the idea for no gifts because we get each other gifts all year. When we talked about it, I told him that it was okay and all I wanted were the flowers. He also agreed to that. I didn't get him a gift because he himself has said he did not want anything.
Of course he didn't.
That's the end of the post.
He didn't want a gift because he didn't want to have to get you a gift.
He agreed to getting her the flowers, though. I missed that. He said he also agreed to that. So he agreed to getting her the flowers. And what it's looking like is he's constantly agreeing to get her flowers and he doesn't do it.
Because some people don't like to do something when they are told to. Mm-hmm. It sounds so petty, but I mean, sometimes people are petty as hell. Mm-hmm. Especially like, I don't know if they have the ego or I really can't explain why people do that. But that is a thing where it's like, well, I want to get you something without having to be told to do it. But it's like, why? Because clearly you're not a good gift giver. Mm-hmm. And you don't get flowers any other time, like for any other special occasion. She said birthday, anniversary. Mm-hmm. And it screams when people will say, oh, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's every day. But those are the main people that never be doing nothing for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And it's not that Valentine's Day is this big special thing, but if you know your partner likes it, then you should like it too. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, if you care about it,
yeah, we both said that.
That's the end of the sentence. Like, if your partner cares about it, then you have to care about it too. Unless your partner does not care for Valentine's Day and you don't either, is fair game.
Right.
But if your partner thinks something is important, you also need to prioritize that as part of the relationship. Like, this is probably going to come off kind of hard. I feel like he hates her. Because why do you get her? Because if she said they're ugly, I understand beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But they probably were not pretty, for real. And you're purposefully not getting this woman what she asked for. So, and she has said multiple times, like, she pointed to a small bouquet of daisies in the stores multiple times. So I feel like he low-key doesn't like giving flowers, period.
Which is it's just random. Like, what is your beef against flowers? Because we don't know the value of the earrings. So if you could spend whatever you spent on the earrings, you couldn't spare $15 to buy the daisy bouquet that she wanted at the grocery store. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe he felt like, well, I already have the earrings, and so this is the gift I want to give you. But I'm a big believer of, I don't like when people feel like you should just be accepting of a gift. And I talked about this earlier, but the gift, charities, like anytime it involves those type of things, like when people donate to charity, they're like, well, I gave this, even though it was some BS. When it's a gift, well, I'm just going to do this and they should be grateful. And it's like, no, give people what they need or they want. People don't have to be grateful. They shouldn't be entitled, but if you care about someone and it actually is coming from a genuine place and coming from your heart, you would care to give them something that they actually really did want or need, not something you wanted them to have or something just to suffice and be like, well, I gave you a gift. Because that, like, what kind of earrings were they? What kind of earrings did he get?
I'm just thinking about a pair of earrings that probably don't even sparkle. Imagine getting earrings that don't sparkle. I would be pissed off.
He got her some, I'm not even going to say this because it might be something people
right? Exactly. I literally have an image in my head. I don't want to say that.
Like the Betsy Johnson earrings. It'd be like martini glasses. Because that is cute and quirky in its own way. But imagine someone like, you never wear stuff like that.
Not for someone, like, not like a romantic gift or like the The Betsy Johnson earrings with like the leopard.
It's a leopard sitting on a martini glass. It's a leopard holding a martini glass.
Or a flamingo. Yep.
And Betsy Johnson is cute.
No, it is.
But that is not everybody's style. That's a very niche type of style, you know?
I would accept something like that from a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Not my husband.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
From girls, like birthday, cute, quirky earrings,
yeah.
I'll accept that. Right. But not my husband.
No.
And this is her husband. So it's like, this is another reason why people be like, and this isn't like a huge deal, but a lot of times people be like hating marriage and stuff like that because they feel like this is the stuff that comes along with it.
Yeah,
and
you settle for bullshit.
Yeah, but it's like, no, people are actually marrying people that don't like them.
Right. I
don't feel like he really likes his wife.
Right. And the people, I think that happens, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to steer off too far in this conversation, but there is definitely a thing where women's validation and their worthiness is tied to whether or not they get married. And so that forces a lot, or I won't say force, but I'll say causes a lot of women to settle for men that just because he proposed or he offered marriage to you and you guys got married, that wasn't someone that you really were compatible with, you know, but you didn't want to miss your chance. But it's like, but what is the chance? Yeah. The chance of being annoyed and lonely within a marriage? Because if I was specifically wanting something, and not even just in a material way, but something I wanted and I'm asking for and I'm not getting it, I would feel lonely in my relationship because I'm not being paid attention to. Yeah. And that is important. You need attention within a relationship. You need to know that this person sees you, hears you, and is validating you. So
that's like with Dustin, right? I obviously like Edame, but it is a shared thing, but it's also something that's kind of like on my list. It would be like maybe the fourth thing that I love. Dustin sees all the time what I'm obsessed with. Hello Kitty, you know, all these colors and all this stuff. That would be like me, like him seeing my obsession for Hello Kitty and stuff like that. And then he gets me a gift related to anime stuff. Right. You know, and not even my favorite anime. What if it was his? Right.
It would be like, anime. Who told you I like this? Why did you think I wanted it just because you liked it? I'm my own person with my own interests, and there's things that I want. Yeah. Get them for me. Yeah. and he was the first person to really introduce, like, because he's the one who brought it up. He was like, maybe 2 years ago, he started asking this, where he was like, do you want me to surprise you or get you something that you want? You know, sometimes you can just ask your partner what they want if you're not sure of what to surprise them with. Right. You know, like you can always ask that. Right. But he doesn't give a shit. Right. So that's why I feel like he secretly doesn't hates like her. No, right. Hates. Hates. Silly. Yeah. Here's the next story. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my own Valentine's Day gift? Wait, what? Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'm using a throwaway because my boyfriend's sister follows me on Reddit. I, 20 female, of course, have been dating Brandon, 20 male, for about 9 months now. Overall, there are several things that bother me now that didn't bother me when we initially started dating. My main issues are: 1, he refuses to get a job. 2, he refuses to get a license. Bye. 20-year-olds. Recently, I was at his house. We were discussing Valentine's Day and what our plans were going to be. He asked if I could take him to the craft store so he can get things to make my gift. I said no because I didn't want to see anything he was buying and wanted it to be a surprise. He then asked me how he was supposed to pay for it if I wasn't there. Okay.
Immediately, I'm upset because firstly, he gets an allowance and he actually expected me to pay.
He gets an allowance. He was just a teenager last year. His parents are babying him for sure.
Secondly, he's absolutely horrible at making any type of crafts, so I don't really want to waste money on something I know I'll hate.
Why is he trying to do an arts and craft project when he know that's not even his specialty?
I know he's thinking about making her a card and cutting out a heart and writing her name on it.
It's going to be a lopsided heart.
Terrible. I told him I would not pay for my own gift, and it's ridiculous that he would expect me to. He said he didn't understand what the big deal was when I've paid for other crafts we've done together. The other crafts we've done together were things we did together, hence why I was fine with buying the supplies. He said he wanted to buy a new game coming out so he wouldn't have money after. I told him no, and that we just wouldn't do anything this year. He cried about it. It's funny because when I find these stories, I mostly read like a quarter or a half of it because I also like to be surprised myself. I did not read that he cried about it. Like, lame.
He's sitting there like, oh man. I want to know what kind of cries. Like, were they just tears trickling down, or was it like ugly face crying?
Sobbing. So lame. Okay. He cried about it, and that just annoyed me, so I left and went home. Him, his sister, and his mom keep calling me and have left several voicemails about how upset he is. Personally, I'm just annoyed, and it's making me view him as if he's a child. But his mom and sister are saying I'm an asshole for hurting him like this. Edit, he lives with his sister, so his sister gives him an allowance. Could never be me. He dropped out of high school, and anytime I've mentioned him getting his GED, he just cries and says he's not smart enough. His only career goal is becoming a YouTuber streamer. YouTuber, hey. Update. Probably the earliest update ever. But I broke up with him, and there's really nothing more to add. Thank you to everybody that helped me realize how tired I actually was of him. Young problems.
Young problems, because I don't even feel like she needed to take this to Reddit.
No.
You shouldn't have expected anything from him. He has no job.
Yeah.
You pay for everything anyways. So why did you really think Valentine's Day he was going to come through and make it special? Like, you kind of set yourself up for failure in that situation.
Yeah.
He's a bum and he's immature.
Yeah. Which is what a lot of early 20-year-olds do. Like, I remember being 20, early 20, you just do stuff without thinking. You are kind of dumb. And not her specifically, but when you're young like that, you just can't really piece things together that quickly.
Yeah, no one says you have to have everything figured out. So he's not a bum because he doesn't have it figured out. He's a bum because he's not trying.
Yeah.
He's not even trying to do anything.
Yeah.
And she's just delusional because she really was like, I know my boyfriend with no job doesn't have a job or money, but he's going to make my Valentine's Day special. Like, that was crazy.
No, and the fact that he cries a lot when
the crying
when she brings stuff up, that's like, I feel like that's because his sister and his mom baby him.
Yeah, he's being, there's nothing wrong with crying. Everybody has emotions. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with men crying. It's the crying when you're being held accountable.
Yeah.
That's just bratty baby behavior.
Yeah.
You can't cry every time someone tells you that what you're doing is wrong.
Because why did he cry and say he's not smart enough? For a freaking GED.
Yeah, like, they're just enabling him and making him feel like he's not capable of doing anything.
Yeah. This is definitely a young problem because you're young like that, and it sucks because when you are in your early 20s, you think about experience that you have, and yes, they are learning lessons, but then at the same time you can also feel like it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So for her, it's like when you're young like that, don't settle for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if he's 20 years old, like no one's asking him to have everything together at 20.
Right.
But if you're 20 without a GED and your only defense is you're not smart enough and you cry, that's a problem.
Yeah, because you're not going to be 20 forever.
No.
5 years are going to pass. 10 more years are going to pass.
Yeah.
Like you have to get older. So you have to do something. You have to start taking initiative.
Yeah.
And taking control over your life. And he's not doing that.
Yeah.
And she's a little immature too
And why doesn't he want a license? You don't want to drive?
He's just being a bum. He's just in his bum era right now. And it's not going to stop until the people around him stop enabling him.
His mom and his sister.
Yeah. She was enabling him too a little, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I mean, she realized she didn't want to be with him. So they got to stop doing that too.
Yeah. Yeah. His sister and mom keep calling. So clearly they're the ones who like jump to his defense.
Yes.
Whenever he's wrong or like feels sad or whatever. First of all, where's his dad at?
And she should tell the mom and the sister, if this was your man, how would you feel? Would you think this was acceptable? No. So stop doing that just because it's your son or your brother, you know?
But that goes towards the argument that I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but like that's why fathers are important as well, because us as women, we tend to treat both little girls and little boys like as if they are us, And I'm not saying that you shouldn't give your son affection and care and nurturing, but they do need a little bit of a different kind of nurturing. Like if he's crying because he says he's not smart enough to get a GED, that doesn't sound like something that needs, oh no, it's okay. It sounds like he needs to be told to get his ass up and go do something, because if he's crying now at 20, he's going to be crying at 25, 30, 35, 40 with no GED. So yeah, that's it. The first comment says, not the asshole. He's acting like a child. He had his mom call you because you hurt his feelings. Cut this guy loose. This won't get any better. If he's choosing to buy a game instead of a Valentine's Day gift for you, then he's telling you exactly what his priority is, himself.
I forgot that part. Yeah. So he had the money that from his allowance, but he just uses his allowance on himself because he is a child and children are selfish.
Yes. And he's kind of treating his girlfriend like a sister.
Yeah.
Like you would kind of do your sister like that. Like, no, I want to buy my game and,
You buy the stuff that we want.
Yeah. No, you pay the bill and I'll buy my game. Like,
He's a brat.
Yeah. That's an easy one.
Yes.
They're young and children. Like,
it was the crying because she didn't want to buy the crafts.
No. Am I the asshole for choosing to be with my heartbroken sister for Valentine's Day rather than my husband?
Okay.
So I, 29 female, am the oldest of two siblings. A brother, 28, and a sister who I will call Emma, 21. For the sake of the post, I am extremely protective towards my siblings due to our childhood. Workaholic parents that were never there. When me and my 30 husband met 7 years ago, I explained I'm basically their mother, and when they need me, I will drop everything to go to them. Even before we got married, I made him promise me that he accepted my loyalty with my siblings will always come first. Recently, my sister did something stupid, which caused her childhood sweetheart, whom she'd been with since she was 15, to ghost her. Since the 9th of February, she's been staying at our home, and I've been helping her deal with her first heartbreak, which she's taking bad. They said, think Bella New Moon bad. I haven't seen Twilight
since high school.
I should rewatch it. It's probably going to be hella cringe.
It's going to be so cringe. And it's going to look all outdated and old.
Right? No, but I remember even when I was young, I used to see Edward's face just like... And it would just make me cringe.
I thought he was cute. I thought he
was
cute.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, you were an Edward lover?
Yes. I thought he was cute. But it was cringe.
Damn, I just went in on him. I'm sorry.
Girl. No, I look at him now and I'm like...
I don't like to go in on
the romance of it made me like him because that could have been the only thing. But back then,
the mystery and the
and she was so cringe too. So I know her act is gonna piss me off. Like, why are you doing that? Why was she always doing
Girl,
that?
There's so many memes on the internet. I gotta send you.
Girl, she was the epitome of like this.
Yes.
This was Bella.
Yes, and having like the 3-layer shirts. Pushing them all the way down. Yes. That early 2000s shit.
She was so monotone too, but
yeah,
it was a good movie for its time.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, Valentine's Day being so close, it was going to be harder for her. You can imagine my anger when my husband decorated our bedroom and got me an over-the-top gift basket with extremely expensive makeup and skincare.
Aww.
What a bastard.
She said, what a bastard?
No.
Oh, okay. I know. Like, how dare he?
She said, you can imagine my anger.
Expensive skincare? How expensive are we talking?
The usual $50...
Right.
Moisturizer?
Right.
Like, she says, I don't know. Did he make a stupid mistake trying to mean well? Or did he set out to prove a point as he's been a bit of a crab towards my sister? He hasn't shown her any pity, nor does he support me treating her like an innocent baby. On Valentine's Day, he called me and said, get ready. He was taking me out to surprise me. I honestly was needing a break out, and I was glad we weren't fighting anymore. While I was getting ready, my sister entered the room and had a breakdown, which ended in a panic attack. Okay. She was still crying in my arms when my husband entered our room dressed in a suit. I just mouthed, sorry, and he threw down the roses screaming, fuck it, I can't take this shit anymore. He came back home around 3 a.m. and slept on the floor of our bedroom by his own wishes. Since then, he hasn't spoken to me. My brother has told me I was in the right as family comes first, but my friends are on my husband's side. That's it.
Okay, what did her sister... I already know what I want to say, but I forgot. What did her sister do to her boyfriend?
She said something stupid. So... I mean...
So she's at fault, though, possibly.
Yes. She said she did something stupid which caused her childhood sweetheart to ghost her.
Oh, ghost her?
Yeah.
It can't be something stupid to get ghosted. You had to have done something serious, and the sister is downplaying it. Mm-hmm. I feel two things. Mm-hmm. I feel like, yes, you are the asshole because you need to set up boundaries with your siblings. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to frame this as like together as I can. So you need to establish boundaries with your siblings because obviously Valentine's Day is important to your husband. He wanted to spend time with you. He did all this nice stuff and your sister is in the wrong. Yeah. So it would be different. I would feel like, okay, her husband should be understanding if her sister was heartbroken over something that her boyfriend did to her. Then it's like, let her spend this time and you guys can do your Valentine's plans any other day. It doesn't really matter. But the fact that she's in the wrong, it's like you're coddling them and not letting them know that they need to be accountable for their actions.
Exactly.
She needs to sit with whatever she did and deal with it on her own. She's grown.
And regardless if she's in the wrong or not,
Mm-hmm.
you still kind of do have to sit with your breakup and emotions. And I'm not saying like, oh, leave them alone. But after like the initial comfort, like, are you going to be like hand over her shoulder for 24 hours? Like, you know, so like there can be some time for like physical comfort, you know, stuff like that. I remember being young and, you know, being physically comforted, you know, but then after about an hour or two, like, I'm not saying that you're not sad anymore, but after a few hours, what are you doing? Are you going back to doing what you got to do, like errands or whatever? Like, she could have comforted her sister and then still went.
Right. Like taking time. Like, okay, I'm going to spend some time with you, then I'm going to do this and I'll come back tomorrow and check on you. Like, I don't think that, you know, a couple of hours and then her just leaving altogether. But I do agree, like, okay, spend some time. I'm going to do my thing. Then I'll come back, see you again, and then check on you for a while until I feel like you're okay. Yeah. Because that's just looking out for the people you care about. Yeah. But all this extra shit. And then why did her sister wait until that moment when her husband came in a tux and roses to...
Because remember, her husband decorated their bedroom. So the sister came in the bedroom that was decorated.
And now you want to have a panic attack.
Yeah.
That's very selfish. Like, I can't be happy because you're not happy.
Yeah, yeah. And that could be a learning moment for her. Like, you know, I understand you're heartbroken, and as your sister, I'm really feeling for you. But then kind of at the same time, you still have to attend to your relationship. Right. Like, that could even be a lesson for her, like how to still prioritize your relationship, you know, healthy relationship. Right. You know, if she were ever to be in one. Right. You know, so.
Girl. And then her brother agreeing. Of course he would agree because he doesn't want to lose the benefits of their sister always catering to them. However, not in this circumstance, but overall, I don't believe in the sentiment of like, okay, once you get married or you have a partner or whatever, that the family you came from is like not important. I don't feel that way. I feel like family is family.
I agree.
So, and they're just different. It's kind of the same argument that people do where it's like, your husband and wife come before your kids, or you should love your spouse more. And it's like, but those are two different kind of loves. Facts. So why are we like trying to weigh them on the scale when they're just completely different?
Well, like, why are you trying to force a hierarchy?
That's like comparing oranges and apples. Yeah. They're the only similarities that they're both fruits, but they're completely different. Yeah. There doesn't need to be a hierarchy. It's just, I love my family in different ways. Your husband is your family. That's your romantic love. Your family that you came from, that's like your, I don't know what you call that, but that's a different kind of love. You know?
So. Yeah, especially when it's not like I wouldn't necessarily call this super toxic, just lacking boundaries. Yeah. But when we're talking about like toxic family members, then like you should prioritize, you know, your new partner more than the toxic family members. Right. But if we are talking, you know, lack of boundaries, etc., that is something that they have to learn. Right. But it's not necessarily like, oh, they're not your family anymore.
Right. Like, cut them off. Your husband is the only one that matters. Like, that's just not true. Yeah. That's not true. And I don't believe that.
Yeah. And they don't have kids. So it's like, I understand her maybe still like
feeling maternal.
Feeling maternal. But then I also understand him being frustrated.
Yeah.
You know, like he decorated the room.
He put a lot of effort. He really wanted this to be special for her. And I feel like she was being selfish and being like, just her being like, oh, sorry. Like, that's so rude. He went through a lot of effort. He got her some Drunken Elephant skincare.
Right. Right? He probably went to Sephora and everything. Yes. Probably asked the cashiers what's the best skincare to get.
That man spent $400 on skincare and makeup.
Right. But yeah, I'll read the first comment.
Okay.
Says, in quotes, You can imagine my anger when my husband decorated our bedroom and got me an over-the-top gift basket with extremely expensive makeup / skincare. Oh, I forgot it said makeup / skincare. Yes. So not even just skincare. They said, no, I really cannot. Your husband made a lovely present for you and you were angry? That's absurd. Your sister is a grown woman who can deal with the fact that other people still have happy relationships. Or had, because your husband is not going to stick around much longer if you keep doing this shit.
Right. Well, okay. Yeah. I thought they were going to say after this one instance. Like, not being dramatic. Yeah. After you keep doing this, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because who knows how many other things that she would put her siblings before him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving forward.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for not letting my friend's husband come to my Galentine's party?
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, one of those. Backstory. One of my 29 female best friends, 32 female, got married last spring. Since she got married, we do mostly group hangouts with her husband, 38 male, my partner, and some other friends, which is totally fine and fun. Now, I have a Galentine's party every year for my girlfriends, usually about 4 or 5 of us, and we all bring an appetizer and have wine, play some games, etc. I texted the group to let them know and everyone responded. My friend messaged me privately to say that if her husband can't come, she can't come, and asked if he could come with her.
Okay, girl. I'll see you at the next girl outing.
I normally would welcome him, but no one else's husband or boyfriends would be there, and it just isn't that kind of party, LOL. I told her that no one else's partners would be there, and she said that since being married, they are a package deal and only attend things together. I told her I respected whatever arrangements they had in their marriage, and if she wasn't able to attend, I understood. However, a few days later, a mutual friend told me that they talked, and she said she was hurt by the fact I wouldn't invite him and felt I was being rude. I do plan to talk to her about it, but I just need some feedback from Reddit. She has a few edits here. Okay, edit. Because a lot of people ask, this party is held on the 13th, not on Valentine's Day. Edit 3. To add, thanks everyone who has taken the time to respond. I had a lot of anxiety about this. I knew I had done the right thing in my head, but then I second-guessed myself. Now I feel good in the boundaries I set. Another edit. Galentine's Day. Okay, she's just explaining what Galentine's is.
Okay.
Update. My friend ended up reaching out to me. She said that her husband is uncomfortable with girls' nights or events that he cannot attend. He told her, I know what happens at girls' nights. I guess he was cheated on in his previous marriage, and he said he worries a lot.
Was he cheated on with another woman? Like, is that why he'd be worried about girls' time? Is this
maybe
a Ross and Carol situation?
Maybe, but to be honest, from what I've seen, like, you know, on the internet, people talking, like, I think they would assume that the girls' night is a cover up for like,
oh, like hanging out and actually cheating.
Yeah, and actually cheating with like another man.
I feel like I knew that it was going to end up being that he was controlling. And the reason why I knew that is because I used to have a friend that when we would hang out at her house, her man was always there. And he always just looked like he was very observant. And
you never told me about this.
Yes, I did.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, I did. I'll tell you after.
Okay, maybe if you tell me a name.
Yeah, I'll tell you names after.
Okay.
So, but he always looked like he was observant. And some of the things that this friend would say would let me know that they be talking shit. Like, he talks shit or he gives his analysis of her friends. And So when you were reading this, I'm like, he probably just wants to be in the background so that way he can sit and tell her,
oh wait,
oh, this friend,
I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Sorry.
So this friend, yes. So this friend is this and this friend is that, or I don't like this friend, or your friends are like this, which is
sassy
just
stuff.
And it's just controlling behavior, you know? So I already knew it was going to be like that, but I didn't want to generalize my personal experience as something that might be common, but it kind of looks like it is. So if your man or if your friend's man wants to come to Galentine's, no, that is a clear sign that her and her man be talking shit about your friend group, and he's controlling, and he just want to watch y'all and be up in the business.
Yeah. Or he's just incredibly insecure and doesn't want you to go anywhere by yourself.
Yes,
like she's probably like a baddie, and you know, typically when that happens, like especially if you're their first baddie or whatever, they don't want you to go anywhere by yourself. But without mentioning any names, I know somebody who was basically in the same situation. Like she could never go on girls trips. Girls nights were okay, still disapproved of, but no girls trips. Like, it was a solid no. So,
how are you going to dictate what another grown person can and can't do with their friends? Like, completely isolate them, and people don't see that as being controlling. You know, they'll try to, oh, they're just protective or they just care. But it's like, that's not protective. That's controlling. If you can't live your life and have experiences without this, and this person doesn't trust you, that is controlling. Why would you be in a relationship with someone you don't trust? And married to someone at that? They're married. So
yeah. And on the internet, you'll always see videos of like men talking about, oh, y'all know what happens when, you know, the girls go to Miami, and, you know, basically just putting a whole stigma behind girls trips. And I'm not saying that there are no women who actually, you know, go out and cheat. You know, I'm not saying that, but I think that the amount of people who do that is far less than girls who just want to go and have fun.
Like, have fun. Literally have fun.
I can't relate to that.
When we went on your bachelorette trip,
that was so much fun.
We were collecting seashells. Like, if it was what they think you do on a girls trip and what you actually do, we were collecting seashells on the beach.
Girl, I was laying on the beach eating my strawberries.
Girl.
And it was like so euphoric. Just
soaking
being there,
in the sun,
all the giggles and just
splashing in the water.
No, remember when we were standing in the water
and the wave was beating our ass?
No, remember the moonlight?
Yes.
It was like such like a unifying experience.
It was.
Like the close gals, you know? And then we're just like, if you think about it, we were kind of being hypnotized by the moon.
It was a full moon. It was a full.
And why were we just there like?
Why was it a full moon like every night? You know how the moon phases go? It's supposed to be one night. We had a full moon for like 3 days. Girl, I'm not even joking.
Those were beautiful ass nights. And why were we just there in the water like, like just staring at, we were all staring at the moon, Michelle.
And mermaids.
We were all staring at the moon. Admiring its beauty. We weren't even looking at each other.
We were just literally staring at the waves, at the moon. The water, it was nighttime, but the water was warm, splashing us at like...
so amazing.
It was so nice. Even when the waves was beating our ass.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day. It was still fun.
You know what I didn't think about? We were there and the water was like up to here when we were staring at the moon and its beauty. Did you know? Remember when you mentioned the sharks?
Yes.
Dustin mentioned the sharks?
Yes.
They were supposedly like more active at night. So we could have got our asses ate. I didn't even think about that.
The moon was protecting us. That's what happened.
And our divine feminine energy
protected us.
It was... I always think about that. And that wonderful girl that took a picture of us.
Yeah, she was like, y'all are so beautiful. And what did she say? I don't know. She said something like it reminded her of something.
I don't remember, but she was like, I just thought you guys were so pretty. And I thought this was a perfect like picture moment. And us staring at what was it, the sun or the moon?
It was the moon. It was nighttime.
Are you sure? Because
yes.
It was a light picture.
Because it was the moon. That full moon was so bright. It was literally at night. It was when we were standing there gazing at the moon that she caught this.
Literally, all of us were just like,
we should have got that picture framed.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we still could. I'll probably do that.
Yeah.
And magical experiences can happen on girls' nights. Yeah. Because that was, I mean, not even girls' nights, a girls' trip.
Yeah.
That was an amazing girls' trip for me.
Just pure fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any man who doesn't allow you time with your girls, automatic red flag. Because like with Dustin, he won't push me, but he'll be like, go, because he knows how much my friends mean to me. So he's very attentive in that area. Like that's one of the reasons why he really helped me with my birthday parties and stuff. Like I could only do that because of him. Like the birthday party at the house and the tiki boat, that was because of him. And he's always like, I know that your friends are important to you and you want to hang out with them. So if he doesn't do that, then
he's controlling.
Yeah. That's all it is.
And insecure, like you said.
Okay, next story.
Okay.
Am I the asshole? Boyfriend gave me Valentine's gift wrapped in love paper he recycled from a gift from a past girlfriend. I chose this one because it's like a little... To me, it was 50-50, but...
Okay.
You'll get it.
Like, I want to feel like, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, like, you could have just been considerate of that.
Yeah.
That's like wearing an ex-boyfriend's t-shirt when your new man just spent the night.
Yeah.
Even though y'all been broken up for like 4 years, why are you wearing that t-shirt?
Yeah. It's weird. Had a old pair of boxers laying around. Girl, that happened to me.
What?
Yes, and I'm pretty sure it was my brother's.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But
it still was awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward. But, me and Dustin are like this. So he was saying it like with, like his cheekbones go far up. He's like, whose boxers are these? I'm just like, I don't know. I thought they were yours. Yeah, but I think I was wearing them actually. He was like, whose are those? I don't know.
Right.
But yeah. My boyfriend and I have been dating for about 3 years, both in our late 40s. He is extremely thrifty, hates throwing things away, and rarely buys anything new. Clothes, furniture, you name it. One of his points of pride is recycling wrapping paper from past gift exchanges. He said he hasn't bought wrapping paper in years. He just keeps it when someone gives him a gift and recycles it. When he gives a gift, he often asks for the paper back to be used again.
Okay. I don't mind people being thrifty, especially in today's economy, but there's a certain type of thrifty that's just, let's call it what it is, cheap.
You can get coupons from Michael's. First of all, Michael's
Dollar Tree.
Yeah, you're right. Dollar Tree.
And get a roll for $1.25. He's just cheap.
Because I was going to say, Michael's always got a 30% off.
They do.
Love it.
He's just cheap.
So, gifts from him always come wrapped in paper that has tons of creases and folds. It just is what it is. I generally don't mind, and it is kind of a running joke at this point. Cut to Valentine's Day this year, and he gave me 2 gifts wrapped in paper with hearts and the word love all over it. As per usual, the paper had lots of creases and folds and was obviously reused. I recognize basically all the wrapping paper he has used in the past 3 years,
oh my God.
but had never seen this particular paper before. I asked if this had been given to him on a gift by a past girlfriend, and he said yes, it had. He said he couldn't remember which girlfriend had given it to him, which I doubt. He remembers everything. I didn't make a huge deal, but I did point out that it doesn't exactly make me feel special to be given something wrapped in paper from a past love relationship. He didn't understand why I would care, and that he thought this paper would be perfect and romantic. So I was mildly annoyed and then he reacted by being mildly annoyed. He said I shouldn't have even said anything and to pick my battles.
Oh.
Am I the asshole?
No, she's not the asshole, but the bigger issue is not that he did that. So what I just said before about, oh, if you knew it was that, you should be more considerate. Mm-hmm. Yes, but it just seems like he is thrifty, like she says. So I really don't think that he was thinking about it. I really don't think he cares or meant any harm or somebody holding on to the past. He is just cheap, and that is enough for you to be irritated with him. That is enough to be, I know she says she's used to it, but he's not like thrifty in the way that's like, oh yeah, you know, this is good. They like to save money. He's just annoying. Yeah. Like that is annoying, nitpicky, like borderline. It reminds me of like hoarders, you know, like why are you doing that? You would give someone a gift and then be like, yeah, when you're done with that, run me that paper back.
Because first of all, if he's that cheap and rarely buys anything new, clothes, furniture, blah, 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 what is he getting you?
Yeah, what are the gifts?
What are the gifts?
What are the gifts?
I mean, if they're like, I understand, because, you know, a lot of times people say this about men in general, that they are more frugal by nature because like they're providers, they got to provide, you know, so they can't just spend money on shiny things like we do, you know, whatever. So I understand men being cheap with certain things, if not most things, because yeah, I understand that. But is he being cheap with the paper and all that stuff to get her a great gift? Or is he giving her mid or below mid gifts with the reused wrapping paper? So she gives no context to what the gift is. It didn't really seem, I mean, I feel like if the gift was bomb, she wouldn't give a shit about the wrapping paper.
Right, but she's probably like, you always do this. You're so inconsiderate. You got me a box of wrapping paper for my gift, wrapped in wrapping paper.
Hear me out.
He got her some newspapers.
Hear me out. If the gift was a brand new pair of diamond studs, would you care about the wrapping paper?
No.
Okay. So I think that the gifts are not good enough. And then he's wrapping them with the paper.
But then she needs to be honest with herself and realize that she's not as accepting of his cheap ways that she's saying she is. She needs to get to the bottom of it and be like, I actually don't really like him as a person. And yeah, I don't think that cheap stuff is cute.
Because there are a lot
quirky. It's not quirky.
Yeah,
it's
not.
It's kind of selfish and weird.
Yeah. Like there are plenty of men and women out here who are extremely frugal. We've watched those shows with
couponing.
The couponing. There are plenty of people out there that are frugal like that. And some people might say like, oh, like if that's all he does, you should accept him for who he is, you know, etc. While that is partially true, you should have a partner that you are more, how do you say the word? Compatible with. I don't believe that someone who is frugal like this, extremely frugal, cheap, is compatible with someone who is not cheap. Flat out.
Exactly. And I don't think again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to save and having good money management. That is important. But when someone is so cheap, it's like you prioritize hoarding money over like doing anything, over making me happy, over life experiences, over anything. That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's selfish in itself. It's like, it gives greedy. Yeah. That's what cheap gives. It doesn't give like being someone like the people who coupon. I never thought they were cheap. I thought that was smart. Like they would go in there with all these coupons and get a bunch of, you know, good stuff and end up like
hella stuff for free.
For free. Sometimes they would get money back.
Yes, I remember that.
That to me was just smart.
Yeah.
But there are some people that are greedy. And those are the people that they would have these stockpiles of like stuff that you like when they were couponing, but you know has an expiration date. Like you have stockpiles of this and stockpiles of mouthwash and all this stuff. And it's like, why? Because you could coupon it? Like, that's
like, why are you buying baby
greedy.
formula? You don't have a baby.
It's greedy. Girl, it's just greed.
You do not have an infant.
You have no infant.
Like, why do you have 20 jars of
because it was on sale. You had to buy 10 to get them for $1, and then you had a coupon that said $10 crazy. Off.
The crazy couponing shows. I forgot what the name
Me
was.
too. I forgot too, but I was gonna say Coupon Wars, but I'm like, no, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's he's just greedy. And what you were saying about men sometimes being perceived as more frugal. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that, because I feel like men will say that to be as if they're more practical. Because I know it's like a joke that women love to go to like Target and TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to men's items, they make a lot of bigger purchases, especially when it comes to electronics. Not saying women can't, but those things are always marketed towards men, like wanting the biggest TVs and wanting the latest gadget. Like
systems.
These are expensive things. Mm-hmm. And so you may make these purchases every so often, but I mean, that adds up to the same as this girl going to TJ Maxx and making little $20 purchases on trinkets and,
That's true too.
And then their stuff is more expensive. Their colognes, their shoes. Are so expensive. So I think that sometimes we don't look at the bigger picture of like the stereotypes around spending trends between men and women.
That's a good point.
Where it's like, oh, we're just girly and we just love spending money. Mm-hmm. But like our stuff is relatively cheaper than
theirs. Realistically, we buy a lot of like cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So he's just cheap.
Yeah. But
okay.
Reddit declared this person the asshole.
I knew they would.
The asshole.
Redditors love to pretend to be humble. That's what it is. There's like everything has to be about being humble, and
they're probably like, let me see.
You should have been thankful if he wrapped it in recycled newspapers, because the carbon footprint on the earth, like, you don't care about that.
The carbon footprint. I'm screaming.
God, just be saying stuff.
Okay. One says, you're the asshole. It was at least 3 years old. So unless he's cheating on you, he probably just forgot about it until this year. Mm-hmm. It's wrapping paper, not a sentimental card with her name scribbled out and yours written below. Another comment says, you're the asshole. It's wrapping paper. He didn't re-gift a gift. It was only wrapped around it. One comment says, not the asshole. Yeah, not the asshole. I'm surprised at how many people think you are the asshole here. You didn't freak out at him. You don't call him out on reusing paper all the time. You just said you don't really like receiving romantic themed gifts wrapped in lovey paper from past relationships. That's a very reasonable request. And you've been accommodating of his quirk for years. So I don't understand why you have to bend. And the second you feel a bit uncomfortable, you're not allowed.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that comment, but I don't think that she's just uncomfortable with
the paper
having love on it. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, she's uncomfortable with his lack of effort to like change it, but it may just be like a trickle down effect of her being annoyed at all the other stuff that he doesn't buy.
She's tired of receiving trash wrapped in trash.
Yeah.
That's it.
She didn't say anything about the gift. Mm-hmm. So, okay, on to the next story. Okay. Am I the asshole for being upset my boyfriend ate my Valentine's candies? Mm-hmm. Hi, all. My boyfriend, 30 male, and I, 25 female, had a great Valentine's Day. We didn't do anything extravagant. Got some Chinese to go and watched a couple movies at home. It was a great evening. He surprised me with a big package of 12 or so mini chocolate bars and a shareable size of candies. and a cute little plushie.
Ooh.
I was happy as I packed my lunches for work, and this would last me quite a while for a little dessert. For context, here's why I'm upset. I am the main breadwinner in the household. She's 25, he's 30. But okay.
Loser. Remember in shows when they used to be like, loser?
Yes.
That
was the gag, like in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Like,
that was the thing. The whole class would be cracking up. Like
that was such a meme.
Yeah.
Literally a meme. Okay. Okay. I am the main breadwinner in the household, and I rarely get anything just for myself. If I splurge and get a 4-pack of muffins, he gets 2. Or if I get a bag of chips, he gets half.
Oh my God.
12-pack of soda, he gets 6. Money is a little tight, so we rarely get to splurge on anything. So most of the time, I'm happy to share. But I can't get anything he doesn't like because this man will eat anything. I have expressed that I do get a little disappointed sometimes, that I rarely get anything to myself. He understands and is sympathetic. So when he got me these goodies for Valentine's Day, I was under the assumption that they were mine and only mine. After dinner last night, he said he was a little munchy and asked...
I bet you are.
and asked if he could have a couple of the mini chocolate bars. Oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little annoyed and asked, I thought they were for me. He said they are. I was just asking if I could have a couple.
No.
I knew it wasn't a big deal, so I said yes. It's just chocolate bars. But am I the asshole for being a bit annoyed initially?
No.
Is it selfish of me, or do I have a right to set a boundary? I know this isn't the end of the world. I just want some damn chocolates to myself.
You're not the asshole. He's a chocolate eating mooch.
User.
She's
the breadwinner. She's 25 and he's 30. This is what the men on the internet be talking about. Oh, we need a girl in her prime at 25. This is why you want a girl. This is why they want you at 25. So when they're 30, 35, 40.
They can eat all your snacks.
All your childish snacks.
Make you buy the snacks and then they eat half of them. Ugh. Like y'all are a team and say, we're a team, babe. We do stuff together. We gotta work together, babe. Money's
a little tight.
And I'm hungry.
Oh
now she gotta share her Valentine's candy. That reminds me of that SpongeBob when were they like lost or something? And
yeah. I think I'll eat it now.
He does it again.
Yeah.
That's him.
No, but that was literally such a dumb scene because he ate the chocolate and then he had chocolate all over his mouth.
And it was like the sprinkles too.
Girl, but not only that, for the first chocolate bar, Patrick was like, I think I'll eat it now. And then he ate it. It was done. And then a few seconds later, I think I'll eat it now. Like, that was so stupid. Like,
that pissed me off.
What were the writers thinking?
When I was a kid, I disliked Patrick so bad. I disliked him so bad. I remember one time me and my mom were in Walmart and there were like some SpongeBob plushies, like, you know, in those bins when they have a bunch of, you know, stuffed animal thingies. And it was a Patrick one. And she was like, oh, Patrick's cute. That's my favorite. And I'm like, I hate Patrick. And she's like, why? He's so cute. He's my favorite. I'm like, my kid mind couldn't explain to her that he's actually an asshole because she didn't watch SpongeBob.
That's how you know you're a nice person, if you dislike Patrick as a kid.
She just saw his little fat pink self like this with his belly button out. And she's like, oh, he's so cute.
No, the way he treated SpongeBob was terrible. Like, especially when his fake ass parents came. They weren't even his
That
parents,
episode stressed me out so bad. I was literally sitting there watching it with a tear in my eye. Like,
and SpongeBob really acting dumb for him.
And then they treated him like he really was dumb.
That was horrible.
That literally gave me like some type of stress reaction.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Same.
Like,
Same.
Like, but no, he's like, I was
wondering
flustered.
I was wondering when like the parents were gonna see the truth, and it was just like it kept like the bullshit kept going. No, that shit stressed me out.
And then in the end, just for them to not be his parents, and they all walked off like
shit pissed me off for no reason. Like
never liked Patrick. Never liked him.
But yeah.
That's who her boyfriend is.
Right. I wanted to comment on the last sentence she said.
Okay.
She said, I know this isn't the end of the world. I just want some chocolates. I remember being young. And the reason why I dealt with so much bullshit was because I always told myself it's not the end of the world.
Right.
I feel like we're used to gaslighting ourselves because other people gaslight us, be like, well, you know, he's not like, you know, throwing you against the wall, or like he's actually buying you stuff, or, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Like she's gaslighting herself, unfortunately, by saying, I know this isn't the end of the world.
Right.
Like it's not the end of the world, but it should be the end of your relationship.
Right.
Because something doesn't have to be, and this is why a lot of, I would say everyone kind of gets caught up, but especially when you're young, you don't really know any better. You really get caught up with not trying to catastrophize like things that are actually huge red flags.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
you're trying not to be, because there's the stereotype that women overreact or overthink. So you're trying not to seem like you're tripping. You don't want to appear like you're too sensitive, or you're not understanding, or you blow things out of proportion. So with doing that, you tend to second guess how you feel when you know your first initial feeling was you didn't like something, but you'll talk yourself out of it to be like, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's not that big of a deal, but you should always trust your first initial feeling, which was, how did it make you feel as soon as it happened? If you felt away, then you probably had a reason to feel away, and it's normal to feel away. Acknowledge how you feel and then move accordingly. Yep.
But him being 30 years old, I can't give him any excuses. Like, of course, 25 is still an adult. And people, another thing I want to add, like people are always talking about, you know, like if you're 18, you're an adult. If you're 20, you're an adult. If you're 25, you're an adult. I understand, yes, you're an adult and you have the freedom to make decisions, but people overlook how naive you are. And it's not your fault that you're naive either.
Right.
It's lack of experience.
Right.
So yes, she's an adult and she's 25. She's making these decisions, but he is 30 years old.
Right.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He's mooching.
Right.
And he knows that his girlfriend gaslights herself, and he probably does the same thing, obviously, because he got this far.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Moocher.
He's a bum.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Am I the asshole for sending my girlfriend too many Valentine's Day flowers and making her sister's husbands look bad? To explain where I'm coming from here, I need to establish two things. One, I have a high-paying job that often requires I drop everything to travel without notice. It is infuriating at times, but I get paid well, so I've learned to live with it. My girlfriend loves flowers more than anything. I get it. Most girls love flowers, but they are her favorite thing in the world. She literally makes me stop the car when we're driving just so she could take pictures of pretty flowers.
Aw.
Right?
So cute.
Early in our relationship, I had to miss something important without notice. To make up for it, I sent her 3 dozen roses. She loved it and, probably as a joke, told me I had set the bar and I had better always send her 3 dozen roses if I was going to let her down. We've been together 3 years since then, and I have always sent 3 dozen roses whenever we would be apart. Aww. It is a tradition, right? It's a tradition, and we both love it. On to the dilemma. Girlfriend got bad news about a family member's health and headed back to her hometown a couple weeks ago. I couldn't join. Her 2 sisters came back as well with their husbands. Valentine's Day came around, and Although it wasn't my fault we weren't together, I ordered a gift of 3 dozen roses, candy, and a stuffed animal. Day of, I got an alert from FedEx of a delayed shipment and panicked. It broke my heart to think she wouldn't get any flowers that day. So I called around to local florists and found one who could deliver them for a fee. I sent another gift pack of 3 dozen roses. Mm. Turns out FedEx managed to deliver the original package. Girlfriend ended up with 6 dozen roses, 2 cards, 2 boxes of chocolates, and a teddy bear.
That's so cute.
She joked that I had now raised the bar and she expected no less than 6 dozen roses anytime we were apart.
That's so cute.
All jokes aside, I could tell she really appreciated the trouble I went through. The next day, I heard from her sister's husbands. They were furious with me, saying I made them both look awful. Turns out, one bought his wife a leftover bouquet of half-dead tulips, and the other didn't get his wife anything at all.
Do better.
Half-dead tulips?
You didn't even
stopped
try.
At Walmart. Walmart, great value. Clearance bin.
CVS. Girl, I was at CVS last night. They had the most rinky-dink looking flowers because who buys flowers at CVS? So they just go bad. He was literally in CVS and he was like, oh yeah, it is Valentine's, and bought them flowers.
I guess they were both going to use the commotion as an excuse. My girlfriend ended up sharing her roses with both of her sisters so they could all feel special. But it was clear they were all from me. My instinct was to take a victory lap, but girlfriend's mom, dad called and explained that they thought I should apologize.
What?
While they appreciate me always making romantic gestures, I can afford to do so while their other daughters' husbands can't. They see where things are going and assume we'll all be family soon, and it would be a good idea for me to make peace with the other two. That's true in the sense that I really didn't mean to do anything to their detriment, but I also never expected them to be such shitty partners that they thought it would be okay to not even bring their wives flowers on Valentine's Day. But maybe I'm wrong for holding them to the standard I've set for my own relationship. Am I the asshole?
No. First of all, why would he owe them an apology for doing something nice for his girlfriend? They owe their wives an apology for giving the bare minimum. Not even the bare minimum, less than the bare minimum. Less than the bare minimum. They owe their wives an apology. They owe him an apology for getting their wives' parents involved and making him look like he's some type of show off. And then they owe his girlfriend more flowers because she had to share her flowers, which was really sweet of her. But if that were me, like if that was my friend and she received flowers like that, I would be happy for her. But I wouldn't want her to share hers with me because, I mean, they have no sentimental value to me. They didn't come from my partner.
Right.
They came from your partner to you. That's your special thing. So
the most you could feel is like a slight, like, damn, like I got half dead tulips. Like I would understand the wives feeling a certain way, especially if they see their sister get 6 dozen roses. You know, like I understand that, but then it doesn't sound like the wives of those husbands, like the sisters, made a huge deal about it, even though they should have. I mean, just because he didn't say it doesn't mean that they didn't. They were probably sad, you know, stuff like that. But they need to do better. There's no reason for them to take it out on him. No. And a lot of times people will try to blame people who make more money. Like, oh, you know, we don't make enough, so why would you give that to this person or whatever? I don't agree with that. I think that if you have a high paying job and you want to give, you should be able to do that without feeling bad for like the surrounding people. If it's your partner, like you should be able to go all out, you know, and not feel bad about that. You know, but then again, I slightly sympathize with people's insecurity about not making enough money to do certain things. But if you could afford half dead tulips, then you could have
some better ones. Yeah. Some better ones. You could have went somewhere, you could have picked a fresher bunch, anything. And then grocery store, and obviously expensive, inexpensive, that's all relative. But grocery store flowers are affordable.
Yes.
So if you went to the grocery store and you can find some nice affordable flowers. I see them all the time at Meijer.
They're $15.
They're at Meijer $6.99 for 6 roses. So if you can get 6 roses for $6.99, you could have bought 2 of those for $14.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I don't like how the parents were saying we see where this is going and you're going to be part of our family soon. So it's best that you try to make amends with them. But then it's you should be telling the family to make amends with him. Why is it because it's one person?
You should be telling your daughter's husbands to treat your daughters better. You should be mad that they do that they get treated this way.
Exactly. So for them to do that to him.
Trash.
Yeah, trash. And I hope that the girlfriend is defending him, which it doesn't sound like she's not.
Right.
But still, I would be sad if everyone was just ganging up on him and he's just trying to spoil his girlfriend who loves flowers.
Right.
She didn't even ask for anything else.
Right.
One comment says, haha, this is a hard, not the asshole. Sorry your wife's sisters have shitty husbands, not your fault. But yeah, now that this is official Reddit lore, we all expect you to send no less than 6 dozen roses anytime you two are apart.
That's cute.
That's cute. Yeah, and then someone else says, why isn't anyone talking about how shitty the parents are with their demand for OP to apologize? Exactly what I was saying. So yeah, not the asshole.
Okay.
If you guys have any Valentine's Day experiences you'd like to share with us, let us know in the comments.
Also, make sure to like and subscribe and check us out on our Instagram.
Bye.
Bye.